In the shadows of 1950s, a boy learned a lesson that would change the world. If a fight is inevitable, you must strike first. He wasn't born into royalty. He was born into the rubble of a city that had survived unimaginable horror. This is the story of how a street kid, a gray cardinal, rose from rat-infested basements to become the longest-serving master of the Kremlin since Stalin. He wasn't just a product of his time, he was the architect of ours. His story begins in the aftermath of the siege of Leningrad, a city starved and frozen but unbroken. Vladimir Putin's parents were survivors. His father returned from the war with shrapnel in his legs. His mother nearly starved to death. Their home was a single room in a communalka, a communal apartment packed with other families. There was no bathtub, no hot water, and the stairwell was a hunting ground for rats. Putin later recalled chasing them with a stick as a boy. He was small for his age, an easy target for bullies in the grim courtyards. But instead of breaking, he learned to fight back. He didn't find power in books or classrooms. He found it on the tatami mat. He discovered judo. Judo taught him a crucial lesson. You don't need to be the biggest or the strongest. You just need to understand leverage, balance, and the precise moment to strike. It's about turning your opponent's strength against them. This philosophy would define his entire life. By the age of 16, fueled by a patriotic fervor from Soviet spy movies, he walked into the local KGB headquarters and boldly asked how to join. The officer on duty, amused but impressed, told him they didn't take walking. To be a spy, he said, you needed a law degree. So, that's exactly what he did. He enrolled in Leningrad State University, studied law, and waited for the call. It eventually came. By 1985, Putin was no longer just a boy from a communal apartment. He was a KGB officer stationed in Dresden, East Germany. He was a ghost, a functionary in a provincial outpost of a global superpower. His job was gathering low-level intelligence, a world away from the high-stakes espionage he had dreamed of. He watched from the sidelines as the Soviet world he so admired began to rot from within. Then, in November 1989, the Berlin Wall fell. History was happening right outside his window. An angry crowd surrounded the KGB villa, threatening to storm the building. Putin, the ranking officer on Psi, walked out to face them. He calmly warned them that the property was Soviet territory, and that his men were armed and authorized to shoot. The crowd hesitated, and eventually dispersed. But when Putin called Moscow for orders, for support, for anything, there was only silence. The line was dead. In that moment, he felt the profound abandonment of a collapsing empire. A superpower was disintegrating, leaving its agents stranded. That silence, that feeling of helplessness and national humiliation, became the engine of his life's ambition. He vowed that Russia would never be weak again. He would never be left waiting for a call that never came. The 1990s were a period of chaos for Russia. The Soviet Union was gone, and the new nation was in a freefall. It was a time of gangsters, instant billionaires, and political turmoil. Russia was for sale to the highest bidder. Putin returned from Germany to a city now called St. Petersburg and took a job in the mayor's office. He operated from the shadows, the gray Cardinal behind the throne, earning a reputation as a loyal, efficient, and ruthlessly discreet problem solver. He was the invisible man who got things done. His quiet competence caught the eye of powerful people in Moscow. In a meteoric rise, he was pulled from local politics into the heart of the Kremlin. He became head of the FSB, the successor to the KGB, and then prime minister. On New Year's Eve, 1999, a frail and exhausted President Boris Yeltsin made a shocking announcement. He was resigning. In a historic televised address, he handed the reins of a broken, indebted, and demoralized nation to his chosen successor. The world looked on and asked a simple question. Who is Mr. Putin? They were about to find out. He didn't just plan to lead Russia. He intended to discipline it, to forge it back into the power he believed it was destined to be. The new millennium began, and the Iron Sovereign emerged. The era of chaos was over. The era of order had begun. Putin took on the powerful billionaires who had seized control of Russia's assets in the 90s. Some were jailed, others were exiled. Their empires were brought to heel under the authority of the state. He took the vibrant, critical media of the Yeltsin years and muzzled it, bringing television stations and newspapers under Kremlin control. He understood that controlling the story was as important as controlling the economy. He carefully used the relics of the Soviet past, the grand military parades, the patriotic songs, the narrative of a besieged fortress to fuel a new Russian nationalism. This wasn't a return to communism. It was a restoration of the empire, built on a foundation of oil money and state power. From the spectacle of the Sochi Olympics to the annexation of Crimea and the battlefields of Ukraine, his core objective remained unchanged, restoring Russia to its former glory, to ensure it would never again suffer the humiliation he witnessed in Dresden. But as the years pass, and the shadows grow longer, a new question arises. Has the architect built a formidable fortress to protect his people, or has he constructed an inescapable cage for them? History is written by the survivors, but it is remembered by the monuments they leave behind. Vladimir Putin didn't just rule Russia. He became obsessed with its destiny, its image, and its power. He molded it according to the lessons he learned as a boy in the streets and as a ghost in the shadows. Whether he is ultimately remembered as a savior who rescued his country from collapse, or a tyrant who sacrificed its future for his vision of the past, his legacy is a world forever changed by his will. He is the ultimate relic of the Cold War, a figure who remade the 21st century in the image of the 20th. Whose history should we unearth next? Let us know in the comments, and subscribe to join the search. Thanks for watching.